I'm Joni with Looking at Careers with Joni, and I'm here today with Jessica Andrews with Pante. And Jessica's had a very interesting background to get where she is today. Hi, Jessica.
Hi.
I I love what your background is and how you got to where you are today. But let's start at the very beginning.
Okay.
And I kind of know a little bit about your story. So, when you were growing up, what did you want to do with your life?
So I really actually wanted to be a hairdresser. At 16, I ended up leaving school because at 14, I got a job in a local hairdresser's and I absolutely loved it. And I just felt that that was my path.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so you dropped out of school, and what did you do?
Well, in England, you can finish school at 16. I know in
Okay.
America, you kind of go on to college, which I did do. I went on to hair college.
Okay.
So,
So you went to school, and was your school part of the salon that you worked at, or was it something separate?
yeah, so I was actually really lucky in that I found a hairdresser's where I could work there during the day. And then we would do our training after school. So,
Oh, nice.
yeah, which
And
made it for, long days, but they were so fun because it was hands-on during the day.
and what did you do during the day?
I assisted stylists from all over the world and learned so
Okay.
many different techniques, and it was really, really fun.
And while you were training like that, did they let you cut and color?
Not in the salon. When you passed the 2-year mark, you could start blow drying because you'd been approved on that.
Oh,
So you could
okay.
start blow drying for your stylist and getting kind of that hands-on and on the floor experience. But apart from that, yeah,
Okay.
you had to wait.
Okay. So you went through how many years of school was this that you actually went through?
So I did it in 3 years, which was
Okay.
quite fast, actually.
So
Some
you were
people do
working
it in
day and night.
4. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
I wanted to get it done and get on the floor.
So you graduated and they immediately hired you?
I graduated and they wanted to hire me, but they just took on 2 junior stylists from a year ago that they were still building. So I didn't stay on in that salon, but the Evening Standard actually found out about me, and that's a big newspaper in London.
Okay.
And they did a piece on me as one of the 7 super stylists of the future. So
Wow.
I got a lot of clients and work from that. So that was really great.
Oh, that's great. And
Yeah.
how'd they find you?
One of the hairstylists that was already put up for it at Michael John actually recommended me. So they called
How
me up.
lucky. How
I know.
lucky.
Yeah.
So then now you're getting clientele and you're working in a salon
Yeah.
and uh and you're doing everything? Is that what happens once you're a hairdresser?
Yeah, in England, you don't have to specialize. You can do everything. So I did cut, color, and yeah, everything.
Okay. And how long did you do that before you moved to the States?
A couple of years. And then I got an opportunity from a client. And my dad actually wasn't very well at the time. So I kind of felt like I needed a change. And she said, well, would you like to come to America and, you know, be on my team for my book tour? And of course, I jumped at the idea. And
Wow.
yeah, it was really fun. LA was my base, but we kind of went out from there to Boston, New York, Chicago, and all over America.
That's really wonderful. And when you were traveling, you were just with one client, or
Yeah.
did you pick up other clients while you were in different cities?
I was just with the one client,
Okay.
exclusively with her.
Okay.
And then when I came back to LA, we had a couple of weeks where we had a little bit of downtime. So I would meet people and people would recommend me, and I I built up my clientele still, even though I was traveling with just one lady.
Mm-hmm. I
Yeah.
mean, that what a great opportunity.
Yeah.
So then the tour's over, you're in LA, you're starting to build up clientele. Did you work in a salon?
I worked in a salon for a little bit, but it just didn't feel quite. See, I started to, when I was on tour with my client in the downtime when I was back in LA, I started to do clients remotely at their homes. And
Mm-hmm.
once I came back, I thought, okay, well, go into a salon and book my clients in. And my clients were just like, oh, it was really nice you coming to the house. And so I just decided, oh, well, maybe this is my business then.
That's yeah, that's everybody loves to be taken care of at home and not have to worry about driving to a salon and
Yeah, exactly. And you know, I got some really great clients just through people, and the Four Seasons actually found out about me, so I started working for them
mm-hmm.
exclusively, and then very quickly realized that I needed more than just me.
Yeah.
So I started hiring people, and that's how my on location hair and makeup business was born.
So what's the name of that business?
On location hair and makeup.
Oh, that is the name of
Yeah,
it. That's the whole name.
yeah.
Okay. And so tell me a little more about that company.
So that company was founded on pretty much a phone call of, well, it's not just you, is it? And I said, oh, no, no. So I started interviewing hair and makeup artists, having my hair and makeup done, kind of, vetting them, seeing what they've done. And that was actually kind of a stressful time because I'd never let anybody go kind of out for me before.
Mm-hmm.
So I would kind of ease them in. I would bring them with me and we would do, a couple of clients together just so I could get the feeling of how they worked with clients. Um, and then after that, I mean, now I have a list of like 20 hair and makeup artists that I call, and we can really carry large jobs, which is great.
That is great. And because I understand what you were doing. So when high-end clients checked into the hotel, the
Oh, right.
concierge
Yes.
would call you, and that was how you got these clients. You weren't working in a salon inside the hotel.
No, it was all in room services.
Wow. And those
Yeah.
rooms were big enough to do hair, huh?
Oh, yeah. Yep. And then, they have big corporate accounts that come in, and they, you know, they have the big suites, and they're going to large events like the Oscars and Golden Globes and the Emmys, and we have big hair and makeup team there ready for all their clients to get you know jazzed
Hmm.
up for the event.
That's great.
Yeah.
So you're working on everything Hollywood.
Yeah.
And when did you learn how to do makeup?
Oh, so yeah, we skipped that part a little bit, or I did.
Yeah.
So actually, when I came back from the book tour, I decided that I wanted to take a makeup course because I was on tour with this makeup artist that had a school in LA. And he said, well, come and do the makeup course. So we're fun. And I thought, yes, definitely. So I did a couple of months there, and yeah, that was really
And
fun.
that was like movie makeup, Hollywood makeup.
It was a bit of everything. It was so it would the first part was like very natural beauty makeup, and then it was bumped up natural, and then you would have the really red carpet makeup, and a little bit of TV too.
That's great.
Yeah.
That's great.
It was really fun to go back to school as an adult.
Was it?
Yeah, and to do it, with something that you're really interested in too. Yeah, it was
Yeah.
really fun.
How long until you kind of put those skills to use?
Pretty much straight away, because with makeup, it's not something that you can just learn in a lesson and okay, you're good to go. You
Yeah.
have to do many different faces and personalities, and get to know what people really want, and it takes a while.
Yeah.
But I was
Oh,
lucky because I had so many hair clients that I just convinced them to have their makeup done too. So I could practice.
and that's great.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you know how to sell it and do it.
Yeah.
So now you're doing hair and makeup and you're working with all the big Hollywood events and you've got a great clientele.
Mhm.
And then what did you do? I mean, well, let's do this. So how long have you been doing that? A long
Gosh,
time.
since I've 15 years.
Long time.
Yeah. And we weren't just, we were in like 5 different hotels, because the concierges, they kind of move around, or they get
Oh,
recommended from other concierges. So yeah, we were really busy. It was great. I mean, the time of like the awards, I would stay up pretty much all night and then do the morning television shows too. So it was hard work, but it was very rewarding.
yeah. Do you
Yeah.
still like to do that kind of stuff?
I do. I mean, I still travel um back to LA, but
And I guess we should say you've moved to Colorado.
Colorado. Yes.
And so now you're still running that business. You're doing it remotely with your staff, and
Yeah.
you go back, once a month and work on clientele, pretty much.
Yeah, every 3 weeks I'm back working on clients or traveling with a particular client. So
So
I'm
you're
more
still going all over the country.
yeah, I'm more exclusive to her. So
Okay.
that's fun.
Oh, oh, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're going back and forth and you're doing hair and makeup and you've got a group working for you. And if I remember right, were you doing just blow dries too at some point?
That is mostly what we do at the Four
Okay.
Seasons, is blow dries and makeup. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
But it was the pandemic really that kind of pivoted everything,
Okay.
because when that hit, it just obviously all the events were done.
Oh, that's right. I
Yeah.
forgot. So when the pandemic hit, you were in Colorado. So it kind of stopped the travel.
Well, I was still in Los Angeles when I was,
Oh,
yeah,
oh, okay.
I was still in LA when the pandemic hit.
Okay.
And just feeling very anxious, as we all were, and what was going to happen, and this is my business, and what am I going to do? Um and before the pandemic hit, I really wanted to create a product. I've always wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
But it's it never really was the it never really felt like the right time, because there was one idea that I had about a hairbrush, but it just, I kept hitting walls across the way. It
Right.
was too difficult. And so I actually bought a horse about 6 years ago, a young horse. And so I've always been an avid equestrian girl
And you kind of
in
grew up with
England.
horses, right? Okay.
Yeah, I did. Every weekend I was at the barn hanging out with my girlfriends and my horse, and yeah, I loved it. And I took a big break when I came to LA because I wanted to make sure I was staying, you know.
Right. Sure.
So once I realized that, I bought a young horse and I started riding, but my riding back in the day was not really, I was galloping around the English countryside. We would build jumps and
Yeah.
it wasn't really like a finesse riding. And I
Right.
saw a video of me one day actually riding. And I thought, oh gosh, before I get on this young horse, I need to, get my seat together because that's really important for riding.
Sure.
And so I started riding all these big moving warm bloods. And with that comes heat rashes and all kinds of lovely stuff because there's so much friction going on in the saddle. And I could
Right.
never find an underwear that really worked. I tried so many, I can't tell you. I mean, some of them would work in some ways and some of them would work in other ways, but I could never find one that fitted the whole bill.
Right.
So I decided, I thought, well, maybe I need to make some kind of cream or some kind of exfoliant. And then that didn't quite come to fruition. But then I thought, no, I need to actually make underwear.
Right.
So I
And do you know
guess
how to sew?
no,
Okay.
no,
The
not
idea is
really a
what's
sewer,
important.
Joni.
Yeah. I thought you did everything.
No, yeah. So after the pandemic hit, it really like kind of pushed me to say, okay, well, maybe it's time to make this and design it and really get into it. Because my outdoor activity was horse riding.
Right.
And at that time, I just had my horse in the pasture. There was no one around. So it was very safe for me to just go, pull up, ride her, and leave.
Right.
So I started testing prototypes and different materials, and I couldn't quite find the right material. So I decided to create my own material. So I created this custom blend that
Wow.
works really well in, it's moisture wicking. It's really, really durable because on in the horse sport, it's very taxing on seams.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can imagine you're riding, a 1,200
Yeah.
pound animal and you're taking all that motion with your body. So,
Yeah. Lots of friction.
yeah. So, I needed something with really good durability and longevity. And the design came into that too.
Okay.
Yeah. So, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. So then
Okay.
what did you do?
So then I finally found the prototype that I really, really loved and I was happy with. And I started giving it to my girlfriends because they all had these issues too.
Oh,
But we just put up with it, you
right.
know. So so yeah, then my girlfriends started writing in them. They were like, oh my gosh, I love them. I love these are great. These are so great. And and then I started to kind of finesse little parts of the design, start looking at colors. And within that year, I pretty much had it down. And then I launched the following February.
Wow.
Yeah,
So how long were you in the design?
probably about 6 months, like
Oh,
tweaking, going back
that's
and
pretty quick.
forth.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then testing it for a further 6 months.
Okay. You know how to accelerate all these things you get involved in.
Oh, I was ready. But I think it's also a good example of when you have an idea and things just start to kind of come into light, and clarity in this area. Oh, this is this makes sense to do this right now. It's all about the timing, and it was just made sense for me to make that particular product.
Right.
Oh, and also I should say, because I didn't know what factory to go to
Oh,
create
right.
this. And I was just researching online. This was before the pandemic, and I couldn't really find a factory. I went to a couple downtown, and they were like, "Oh, we can make put your name on this garment." And I said, "No, no, no, it has to be like completely custom. I have this idea that needs to come out."
Right.
And I didn't really find. And then one day I woke up after the pandemic when I was like, okay, I want to explore this Pante idea. And
Hmm.
I thought, let me go on LinkedIn and find somebody that has an athletic apparel company that is really good quality, made in the US, and looks like they know what they're doing.
Yeah.
Because I clearly did.
No, but that's great that you could identify who did.
Yeah, and I messaged this guy. He was like the first guy I messaged, and I said, do you think there's any way that I could pay you to consult me through this process, because I'm just kind of lost here.
Hmm.
And I found the most amazing guy. He's incredible at what he does. Like, he knows so much about the clothing industry. It's unbelievable. I couldn't do it without him. Yeah, so it was great timing.
And where is he located?
He's in Los Angeles. He
Okay.
has his brand is Pistol Lake. Andrew Neasley, he's a good guy.
Well, that's great. I didn't even ask you. Do you have a sample you could show us?
Oh, yes. 1 second.
Okay.
I'm also 9 months pregnant right now.
You look
So
great.
moving around is a little. So
A little higher.
these are a good color combination to show you, because you can see all the intricacy in the design.
Uh huh.
I don't know whether you can see, but the waistband is just a little bit thicker on the sides,
I
just for
see. I can
support.
tell. Yeah.
The material is really durable, and this the gusset area I actually patented.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's completely seamless. So around the crutch area, it goes down just a little bit further, so there's no rubbing.
Uh huh.
And they go down to the knee,
Okay.
so it gives you protection down to the knee. I initially did a shorter version, but I still found that after the Pante had ended, I would still get a rash.
Uh huh.
And you should know that with riding you get better,
Mm-hmm.
hopefully.
Yeah.
um but the hot spots just move, they don't really go away.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, so even the top professional riders are wearing these and really benefiting from them.
And you wear that under whatever clothes you're wearing.
Yeah, and the material is not see-through
Mm-hmm.
in any way, so you can actually wear them around the barn in the hot summer,
Okay. That's
and
what I
then put
wondered.
your jodhpurs on to ride. Yeah. So I wanted something that you could kind of, because after a hot ride, although these do cool you down a lot, it's
Mhm.
nice to take the jodhpurs off and just walk around the barn and you know in just the panties.
Yeah, and just be cool.
Yeah,
That's
and this
great.
also shows you the equestrian design too,
Mm-hmm.
which actually it's funny. I found out in designing it that this design is actually very beneficial for longevity of an equestrian garment,
Oh,
having
that's
the
good to
extra
know.
seam. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So
And so now you have one product and you're expanding this over time, I would suspect.
yeah, so I launched in February, and my goal for the first year was really to build my inventory because obviously I was doing this all by myself.
Mm-hmm.
um my mom really sweetly helped me with some of the financial, but
Right.
my business started to kick back up at that time a little bit. And I was really grateful that I could kind of put those finances into this and
Right.
really build it and build it. And the first year I built up the inventory and realized what kind of colors I was going to go with. And I have 12 right now, but I'm going to narrow them down to 6 this year.
Okay. Oh, that's good.
Yeah, so I started an Instagram and Facebook, and I just sent them out to riders of all levels and
Mm-hmm.
disciplines, and everyone just loved them, so they started blogging about them. They started posting about them, and that's how I got some sales.
Mm-hmm.
And I
So
did pretty well the
everybody's
first
helping.
year.
Everybody's helping to promote.
Exactly. Yeah, and I
Okay.
think also I was lucky with this product that it's something that was really needed.
Right.
There was a gap where, you know, in the equestrian market where we really needed a good underwear.
That's great. So what are your Instagram and Facebook pages called?
It's just at Equipantes, so
Okay.
EQUESPANTE.
Okay. And same for Facebook?
Yes.
And what about for your hair and makeup business? Do you have another Instagram and Facebook
I
page?
don't
Oh, you don't?
actually no. I did, but I don't anymore. I
Okay.
mean, that is all word of mouth, and
Right.
it's
That
been,
business is running itself.
yeah, definitely.
That's great.
Yeah.
So, what words of advice do you have for people that are getting ready to pivot and go into something new? What should people know when they're ready to when they are thinking about it and just afraid to stick their toe into something new?
I think if you're still in the afraid stage, wait.
Okay.
Um, I mean, obviously, there's a tiny bit of fear that's always going to be there, but if you're very afraid, I think that that builds a little resistance.
Mm-hmm.
So I would advise you to think about whatever you're going to be doing next in the best way you can possible,
Okay.
and decide that it's going to do well.
And it's working for you. That
Yeah.
positive outlook is it moves you in the right
It
direction.
is. I mean, obviously, you have to, I know sometimes in business, you have to think about the negative side of things and figure out issues, but mainly you should really be putting out there that this is something that I want to do and it's going to work, but it has to
Mhm.
come from a real place.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Otherwise, if you're all in negativity, that's where your brain is going to be and nothing's going to move forward.
Yeah. And you're not going to be able to be in meetings with people and be able to talk about what you want to do confidently.
Right. So, as your business grows, and your market grows to different, because I know you're looking at different things to use these panties for. Come back and talk to me again. Let's put
Definitely.
more together and talk some more.
Yeah, I'd love to.
Okay. So again, this is Jessica with Equipante, and I'm Joni with Looking at Careers with Joni. If you like this video and podcast, please click like below and join us for the next one. Thanks, Jessica. We'll
Thank
talk soon.
you.
Okay.